Um, Good morning all, it's still morning. I'm Sarah Humoud and Assistant Professor at Computer Science Department in Imam University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and I work in CSAIL with Professor Uname. Is she here? She's supposed to be here, but maybe she's late. And I will be talking about optimal allocation for complementary public transportation. Those are the points that I will tackle today. The motivation for this work is we are excited about the metro system in Riyadh that is going to be finished in 2019. And I will be talking about the context and the data we have and the aim of the study and challenges. And thank you for giving me this chance to talk about my work in the 3 previous months and what I will be doing in the next 8 months. Are you okay here? Good? Okay. So imagine yourself traveling from point A to point B in a city where the average distances between 2 points is from 15 to 35 kilometers. And with congestion, the expected time will be doubled or tripled even. And trips will be slower. What about having a metro system? This is a good idea. But does the metro system cover all points of interest in a city larger than Los Angeles or New York? Maybe not. Could people abandon their cars and use the metro system only to reduce congestion? Maybe not, because the temperature is very hot there. It's like average 45 degrees Celsius. So how can we reduce congestion? How can we make people use the metro system more? Because maybe, as you know, this information is unfortunate, but Saudi Arabia is known for high accident rates. And we want to minimize that and maximize trip efficiency and time. What can we do? Yes, this is my professor. Hello. OK, so the metro to be in 2019 has 8 lines, and it spans 85 kilometers in length. But the question here, will this metro system minimize trip time and maximize trip security and efficiency, given the area, the vast area, and the long distances, and the temperature conditions in Riyadh? This is a question to answer. What do we have? What data do we have to answer this question, given the area and the average distances and the temperature in Riyadh? So the metro is not there yet. The data for the metro is not there. So what can we do? No data? We can use very important data, which is mobile data. Saudi Arabia is counted or rated as number 3 in mobile penetration rate, coming after United Arab Emirates and South Korea. So we are sure that, in average, a person in Saudi has 2 mobile phones at least. So people will be using mobile phones. So. Utilizing base station information in this city, in a city like Riyadh, is very useful, and that's what we are going to do. We're going to scrape base station information in different zones to have trip data. What kind of data do we have? We have trips per day. We have 1 million trips per day. What do we mean by trip? It's a base station and a destination base station, a source base station and a destination base station, and a time. That's what do we mean by trip. And we have, from one carrier, 1 million trips per day. We have extra, this is one dimension of the data that we have. Other dimension is points of interest. We have more than 10,000 points of interest in Riyadh city. And we wish to utilize that as I will be saying next. So what do we want to do? Our aim is to allocate convenient complementary transportation. What do we mean by that? It complements the metro system in Riyadh. This is my imaginary bus. I imagine a big bus and a small bus to complement the metro system. How can we do that? We can study daily trips to explore spatio-temporal distribution and user behavior in the city, to understand where do people go and where is the congestion. We aim as well to visualize this behavior to make it easier for planning and taking decisions to where to place or to allocate this complementary system. Another thing that we are trying to look at is inferring meaning or attractiveness from attractions. We have points of interest, and we want to analyze or sentiment analyze these points of interest. Anyone here familiar with sentiment analysis? Sentiment analysis? Yes, please. Yeah. So basically, it's like, in its basic form.
Information from people and seeing their tendencies.
Yes, tendencies. Thank you. Sentiment analysis is concerned with exploring tendencies, or in its basic form, classifying data into positive and negative. So how can we do that in Riyadh City? We have points of interest, and we have reviews and ratings for each point of interest. So this would add an intelligent layer of if we can say, sentiment analysis to our visualization. Okay, what are the challenges that we're facing? I'm facing the challenge of time because I have only 8 months left, and I wish that I can do the best in those 8 months. Any questions?
Other questions?
Thank you for presentation. The point is, with big or small buses, they might not be able to pass in every single street in Riyadh with the area. Does it include like having some sort of public multi-story parking so that people can drive until that station, park their cars,
Yes.
and then go through a train?
We sure need that. We sure need parking lots in the metro station. This is, we need to do that. But having buses would penetrate the city even more, because people will not walk like for like 15 minutes in a very hot weather to reach the metro station. So even having parking and having buses would do that. Thank you for your question.
I have a question. Did you study the metro system in Dubai? Did you
In what?
I mean, getting the data on who is using it, how many people are using it per day, and
This would be very interesting.
How useful
Yeah.
it is, because we have almost the same culture
The same country, the same everything.
in both
yeah.
cities. I think it would be interesting.
Yes, yes.
To get, and they have a lot of data. It seems like they have been following up.
I will try to have the data from them. If I can, this would be very great to do a comparison.
The other thing is that it seems like the city of Dubai is planning to have 30% of their vehicles, drivers, without drivers, what do you call that? Drivers,
Yeah,
vehicles
autocars,
in
yeah.
3 years. And maybe that would be useful also for, maybe even more useful
Even more useful.
for us.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for telling that. Yes.
Thanks, Dr. Sarah, for the presentation. So so I think all the information that you will collect is very important in terms of people's ways of moving from one point to another and so on. Perhaps also having some solutions to the people in changing their ways of doing things.
You mean behavioral?
Behavioral things. and
Yeah.
so on. Somebody might, prefer to use their vehicle, to go from their home to job, for example. But then, they maybe having some other incentives, perhaps. And, so maybe linking to
Okay.
useful, I think. Yeah.
If I understand what you say, you mean a behavioral CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy for people? Yeah.
And also ways to having people change their ways so that they can maybe use the metro and use public transportation in general.
Yes. Yeah, we need that, but we need the metro ready and everything ready first. Thank you for your remark, Dr. Yes.
Thank you, Sarah, for your nice presentation. Is this different than King Abdullah Metro that they plan to do at Riyadh?
King Abdullah Metro is, what do you mean? Is it in the city of King Abdullah?
Yeah, no, the city of Riyadh.
Yeah, it is the metro. It is the metro. in 2019 it will be done. Yeah.
So your study will combine to the King Abdullah Metro, I mean, or I try to just understand.
Yeah, this is the metro that you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm planning to do a complementary transportation system because metro, in my opinion, is not enough. People will not abandon their cars because for the reasons I've mentioned.
Yeah.
For the area and distance and temperature, people may not use the metro as we expect. Thank you.
But the general trend, if you see whole Europe and other country, developing country, India, Pakistan, China, they are going to mass transit system, which is mostly metro-based system or public transportation. So, is your study is not little bit contradicting with the policy what world is going in direction?
You mean by your question that countries are shifting to public transportation?
They are more mass transit system.
Yeah, mass like.
Because you can save a lot of time, Russia and a lot of people, especially at the school time, and it's very big congestion on the roads.
Yeah.
And then if it is mass transit system, a lot of people can go through that system, and you can avoid that rush, congestion, especially at the office hours and school time. So you are proposing basically a little bit different system. I don't know whether it will be feasible or not.
Well, what we are proposing here, an allocation, an optimal allocation for complementary system. They will do a bus system back home, but where are they going to put the bus stops? And how often? It's not clear. How are they going to study that? There are no study right now, except for the data scraped from base stations. So the question is, where are we going to put the bus stops to better serve people? It's a public transportation still. Do you regard that as public transportation even for bus stops or for buses?
No, for every bus you need a bus stop. That's a public transport.
Yeah, it's public.
Of course you need.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. It's not private, it's public. It's still public. It's a public bus system. Thank you for your question.
I think it's my recommendation. I think it's a very good work and very good thoughts what you're making now. I wish you would perhaps whatever you learn transfer it to Mecca. To Mecca transportation.
This is a different story. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.